She said she's magical, mystical, a powerful wonder girl.
As the saying goes, like mother, like daughter, and that's certainly true in the case of international fashion accessory designer Suzi Roher and Samantha Day. We're happy to welcome this mother-daughter duo in studio with us now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Suzi, you began designing belts more than 30 years ago, having discovered your passion as a teenager, traveling the European fashion circuit on buying trips for your mother's clothing boutique. And now history is repeating itself. It's becoming a family business, if you will. Yeah. And Sam, you now play an integral part of this business. And why don't you both start by telling us about your unique family business story? Because this is...
Sure. So my mother was an amazing role model. And when I married my husband, we decided to join forces because we're both artists and we're both incredibly creative. You can imagine working with your spouse that way. And we really wanted to do beautiful things. We're very, very artistic. We have a lot of integrity. We have really incredible work ethic. And we wanted to create beautiful things. So we began our company, and Sam comes by it honestly because the entire time we basically talk day and night at the dinner table, at breakfast, on the way to a cafe. So
yeah, I mean, I really grew up in the industry, and it was kind of an education like by osmosis. And so as soon as 12 years old, probably, I started taking everything in and started going on business trips with my mom. And then, you know, that was my beginning in the education of what to do in the fashion industry. And I kind of stuck with it all through school and university, and it was a natural fit just to go right into it afterwards.
Sometimes people think that families shouldn't maybe work together so much, but you obviously have a great bond. So do you see beautiful things the same way?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's incredible when you work with family because there's a synergy that you can't buy or pay for.
Well, not always. Some families don't get along. I mean, you know, but in this case, it's an aesthetic.
That's right.
And you really have to embrace the same aesthetic.
Absolutely. I mean, I've really learned a lot through going on all these trips and having grown up with it. We've built the same aesthetic, I think, a lot. You know, I've learned a lot of my tastes through my parents and through my mom and her being a role model.
Well, do you ever come up with something where you think, okay, we should add this to the collection, and one of you says, I hate that?
She wants to know if you ever disagree.
No, because it's you know, I have sisters and we sort of have the same taste, but then something comes up and we don't, you know, and when you work together, it's hard.
I think we usually come up with, you know, there's definitely differences of opinion, but I think when something's really beautiful, we usually see it the same way. I might have a tilt on it different, but...
So you design and manufacture your entire collection at your headquarters in downtown Toronto,
yes.
Right? So tell us a bit about the creative process then, what you were starting to talk about.
Well, I'll let Suze talk about the creative process because she is the most creative part of it.
Yeah, so I'm the designer of all the belts, so I'll talk about that, and I co-designed the scarves with my husband. So we start off by going to Europe, and we have the pleasure of basically making the dessert of fashion, which is scarves and belts. And we go and do our due diligence. We go to art shows, we go to leather shows, we do all the stores, all the designer stores, and what we're looking for is the trends of the season. What is important? What's the collar like? What's the fabric like? What's the stitching like? What are the colors? And we gather our intelligence, and we go to art shows, and we basically get energized, and we take all those facts and all the info and all the cool stuff that we've seen, and we synthesize it so that we can make it into a fabulous product for a Suzi Roher customer, which is usually elevated, different, innovative. Those are all things that are really important to our product.
So you've just launched the 2018 Spring-Summer
Yes.
collection. So let's start with the belts, which you call jewelry for the waist. I love that.
Thank you. We do, because they really are jewelry for the waist. This season is a very new silhouette with a larger shoulder and a smaller emphasized
shoulder
waist.
pads. Oh,
Exactly.
They make everybody look better.
I miss my shoulder pads.
I know.
Not for long.
No.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Is that,
Absolutely.
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They're coming
absolutely.
back?
Yeah, like small shoulder pads in blouses, even in jackets, absolutely. So that's why the waist is so important, because it's the big emphasis of the season. And in that sense, I think that everyone's going to be really excited to start wearing belts again. And it should be on the waist, but of course everyone has a waist in a different place, and that's just fine. We started this season with doing a lot of pearls, and we also do
This
a lot
is
of
pretty.
bicolor. Yes.
Yeah.
I brought in some samples of some of the pearl belts we do, which is one size fits all pearl belts or more jewelry for the as in stretch. That can be a necklace or a belt.
Now, when you talk about placement, I see a lot of women wearing their belt like the empire
Right.
waist level. How does that? It seems to give you a better lean if you have a
I would call that a Michelle Obama look.
A Michelle Obama
Yeah,
look,
she
okay.
always raised them really, really high. And it's just completely personal. Where you want to wear it on your body is up to you.
But these belts are quite different in that they really are jewelry. So you just maybe put some earrings on and a bracelet,
Right.
and you really aren't going to do much else to draw attention away from them, right? Is that the way you recommend wearing them?
Absolutely. You know, we want these pieces to be tools in your wardrobe so that they are empowering pieces. When you get up in the morning and you want to get dressed, it's always nice to have this incredible wardrobe of creative things that you can put together and make a very powerful personal statement.
Well, what I'm thinking is we've had people in that talk about editing your wardrobe down to very basic stuff and then adding accessories. So this would be absolutely perfect.
Oh yeah, you change your belt, you change your scarf, and that makes a whole new look all the time.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about your scarves are wearable art.
They absolutely are wearable art. I mean, it's really something different in a scarf than the average one that you'd find because each one has a story and a message. It's really a great marriage between the fashion side and the art side. And as much as, you see the scarf draped and you just see blue colors and it's beautiful. But then if I was to open up this scarf that I'm wearing, it's called The Essence of Beauty. And that title gives you a little insight into what that piece of art would be. So if I open this scarf up, you'd see a beautiful image that has a whole artistic meaning behind it of, embracing your beauty and your inner beauty of being confident. And that's the essence of each person.
So who is the designer, the artist of that landscape?
It would be my husband and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. The photographs are 99% his, like some of mine, but together we create this aesthetic.
Amazing.
They really are, and they're completely loved and adored when you have it. It becomes your blankie. They're hand washable, so when you touch it, you'll see they feel amazing.
Is that what you mean by saying it all begins with the core of the fabric?
Yes, the fabric, actual threads we choose in Italy, and we get to basically create our own process, and I call that our secret sauce because no one else has the Suzi Roher touch. That's completely luxurious to us.
That's excellent. Now, do you have any tips for styling accessories that you can share with us and our listeners?
Absolutely. First of all, the call out for belts is don't leave your loops empty.
Don't leave your loops empty, okay?
Definitely
Put something
fill
in
those
there.
Yeah,
loops.
fill 'em.
With scarves, the best thing to do is go to our blog, which is www.suziroher.com, and take a look how to tie scarves. There's 25 ways. A girl will show you, and it's just to become very comfortable with scarves too. You really can't go wrong. This is an important thing that I want to talk about since it's a mother-daughter event. But Mother's Day is coming, so scarf is an amazing gift for Mother's Day. So if you want to take a look at our website, you'll see a few scarves that we chose specifically for Mother's Day.
Yeah, because they all have those messages behind them. So it's really more than just a gift. It's, a gift in a card almost at once.
So belts and scarves, anything else that you think about doing, maybe?
We do everything, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
We have a very big announcement, which is we are opening up our own brand store, and it's coming in a month or so on Queen Street at Trinity Bellwoods Park.
Oh, wonderful.
So you will see Suzi Roher in its full statement. We do phenomenal bags, we do jewelry, we do skirts, we do fabulous scarves, belts. You just come and you will not believe.
I'm so
We'll dress
excited.
you
Oh, me too. I just want one more question. Don't leave your loops empty. What does that mean?
That means Sam?
Put a belt in them.
Yeah, so a lot of jeans and pants are coming up.
Oh, okay. I
And
thought
so-
you meant something to do with the belt.
Oh, no,
Okay,
so I mean, just,
Okay,
you know,
yep. No.
fill those loops. Fill
Absolutely.
Those,
Fill those loops.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where can people buy your stuff now? Can
So
you buy it
right
online?
now, the best place is online at SuziRoher.com.
It's ROHER.
Yes.
Right, okay.
And then across Canada and across the world, but in Canada, we have stores from coast to coast. Andrews here in the city is great. Fredericton, there's Robert Simmons. And in the West Coast, Maryland is actually having a trunk show. So they'll have a huge array right now by, I think, April
do you
3rd.
plan on opening across the country your own stores or just one brand store for now?
We'll start with one.
with
You never know.
Well, Suzi Roher and Samantha Day, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck.
Thanks
for
so
having
much for
us.
having us.
Well, she said she's magical, mystical, a powerful wonder girl.